Fallujah was not expected to resist from a conventional military perspective. It looked solvable. Air superiority, overwhelming firepower, highly trained infantry. The assumption was simple. Apply enough pressure, and resistance collapses. It didn't. Fallujah was treated like terrain, something passive, something that could be isolated, cleared, and controlled. But cities are not terrain, they are systems. And when a military system tries to dominate another system, control doesn't scale. Chapter 1. The City as a Target. Fallujah was not expected to resist from a conventional military perspective. It looked solvable. A dense urban area, surrounded and isolated. Air superiority, overwhelming firepower, highly trained infantry, advanced surveillance and communications. The assumption was simple. Pressure would lead to collapse. It did not. Fallujah was framed as an objective, a space to be isolated, entered, cleared, and secured. The logic was linear. Identify hostile areas, apply force, advance, stabilize. This framing assumed the city behaved like terrain, something passive, something that could be crossed, divided, and dominated through movement and firepower. But cities are not terrain. They are systems. They contain vertical layers, hidden routes, civilian infrastructure, and constant ambiguity. Treating Fallujah as a target meant ignoring its internal logic. The plan depended on one critical assumption, that resistance would collapse once sufficient force was applied. That assumption did not survive contact. Chapter 2. Precision that created chaos. Fallujah was subjected to intense and precise firepower. Airstrikes, artillery, and direct fire were employed block by block. The intent was control through degradation. But destruction did not simplify the environment. It multiplied complexity. Collapsed buildings created new cover. Rubble narrowed streets and blocked movement routes. Visibility worsened. Navigation degraded. Each strike reshaped the terrain in unpredictable ways. Precision did not produce clarity. It produced fragmentation. The more the city was destroyed, the less legible it became. Firepower punished Fallujah. It did not organize it. Chapter 3. Clearing without control. Infantry units advanced and cleared sectors. Rooms were searched, buildings were secured, enemy contacts were eliminated. But clearing is not control. Once units moved forward, previously cleared areas became vulnerable again. Supply lines stretched, gaps opened between elements. Control existed only where soldiers were physically present. Everywhere else reverted immediately. The city absorbed advances faster than they could be consolidated. Progress became temporary. Stability became impossible. Movement replaced control. Presence replaced order. Chapter 4. The Illusion of Occupation. From a distance, Fallujah appeared occupied. Checkpoints existed. Patrols moved through neighborhoods. Maps showed sectors under control. But occupation was superficial. It required constant pressure, constant presence, constant effort. The moment pressure eased, resistance reappeared. This was not a manpower issue. It was structural. The environment did not allow control to scale. What could be secured at the squad level could not be sustained at the city level. The city did not remain organized without continuous force shaping it. Chapter 5. When superiority stopped scaling. At the tactical level, superiority was real. Training worked. Weapons worked. Units adapted locally. But local success did not accumulate into systemic control. Superiority functioned in fragments. The larger the area, the weaker control became. Command structures depended on continuity of space. Fallujah denied that continuity. Information lagged. Coordination fractured. Decision-making slowed. The system was operating beyond its design limits. Chapter 6. The City as an Anti-System. Fallujah functioned as an anti-system. It punished rigidity. It rewarded dispersion. It dissolved coherence. Every attempt to impose structure created new vulnerabilities. Every cleared zone generated new edges to defend. The city absorbed pressure without collapsing. Instead of breaking, it redistributed resistance. Urban environments are not designed for military control. Their density, connectivity, and verticality actively resist simplification. Fallujah did not need to defeat the force directly. It only needed to prevent coherence. Chapter 7. Reaction replaced initiative. As coherence collapsed, initiative followed. Operations became reactive. Units responded to contact rather than shaping the environment. Decisions were made locally, under pressure, without broader context. This was not decentralization by design. It was decentralization by necessity. Command could no longer synchronize actions across the city. The tempo was set by the environment, not the plan. When reaction replaces initiative, control becomes impossible. Fallujah forced advancing forces into a permanent defensive posture. Chapter 8. Information without understanding. Sensors, reports, and surveillance data continued to flow, but information did not equal understanding. Data arrived fragmented, delayed, and contradictory. Maps aged faster than they could be updated. Commands saw activity, not structure. Events, not patterns. The battlefield could no longer be represented as a coherent whole. Visibility existed. Comprehension did not. Chapter 9. The pattern repeats. Fallujah was not unique. Its failure echoed earlier urban battles and predicted future ones. The same pattern appears repeatedly. Superior force enters a city. Firepower reshapes the terrain. The environment becomes more complex, not less. Control becomes local, temporary, and fragile. This is not a national failure. It is a structural one. Chapter 10. Firepower without order. Fallujah demonstrated a fundamental truth. Firepower can destroy a city. It cannot necessarily control it. Superiority does not guarantee order. Precision does not guarantee clarity. When the environment itself becomes hostile to structure, control stops scaling. What remains is effort without resolution. Fallujah was not a defeat in the traditional sense. It was something more unsettling. A demonstration that modern war can succeed tactically while failing systemically. And that problem did not end in Fallujah.